This is J. Randall Wilkerson, author of the Heart Failure Recovery Plan, Successful Heart Regeneration Using Metabolic Enzymes. This is part 3 of our video series. If you have not already listened to the introduction, check out our video channel and cover that first. Part 3 goes into one man's journey to recovery. Essentially, it's a short story about myself and how I developed this treatment plan in order to save my own life. I had been admitted with class 4 heart failure and discharged with a CRTD, a cardiac resynchronization therapy device, to restore the timing of my heart. However, the condition was so advanced, there was little hope that I could recover. It was a very long autumn in 2005. I had been in the medical field for over 20 years as a biomedical engineer. And during that autumn, I had visited Hong Kong for a whole week to visit medical supply factories, attend 2 electronics trade shows with 10,000 exhibitors, as well as to the largest medical trade show in Dusseldorf, Germany, the largest medical trade show in Atlanta, Georgia, and numerous trips to California. I had noticed some swelling in my legs, but I assumed that flying 48,000 miles would tend to cause that. And finally, at the end of 10 weeks, I noticed significant swelling indicating a circulatory problem. I returned home on Thanksgiving weekend, and Monday morning I was at my doctor's by 9 a.m. He took a quick EKG and found that I had atrial fibrillation at 260 beats per minute. That was continuous AFib, and I had been suffering continuous AFib for 10 weeks. Most people die within 2 days of AFib at that rate. However, I had been taking large amounts of magnesium to prevent arrhythmias that run in my family, and that also happens to prevent normal sudden blood clots. I was sent directly to the emergency room, and before I could sit down, a nurse came running out with a chair and whisked me away into emergency bed, where they tried many medications to tame the AFib. After 6 days of testing, an electrophysiologist, this is a cardiology doctor who also works to control the heart with pacemakers and other devices, came to my bedside, and he told me there was nothing they could surgically do. My ejection fraction had been 19 to 24%. And I was basically fading fairly fast. They looked one look at my chart and they realized I was dying. So the doctor assigned to me happened to be one of the foremost in the country. I did not know that at the time. He had been permitted to implant a new device that was not released to the public, called a cardiac resynchronization therapy generator, or CRTD. So he offered me that choice, and I said, what choice do I have? Let's go for it. After it was implanted, I was discharged, and my condition was to the state where I could not walk 80 feet to the mailbox, but I walked as far as I could. I had come from a family of doctors, and I knew that I needed to build the heart back up, even if there was no hope in the eyes of the nurses and technicians who would run tests on me. I got to work reviewing clinical trials, anything related to heart failure, any supplement, medication that had gone through university testing and large numbers of test subjects, many cases double-blind, and formulated a treatment plan. This included vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes. Then I began to exercise every day to my limit, eventually to the point where I could bicycle 3 miles at the 4-week point, and within 2 months I could bicycle 10 miles. By Labor Day, 10 months later, I went on a 32-mile cross-county ride, going through 4 communities, stopping for lunch. I didn't start out to do this essentially ultra-marathon for a bicyclist. It just happened that way because there was no traffic and I felt good. So I just went as far as I could go. I'm not a natural athlete, as mentioned before. I don't process oxygen very well into my bloodstream. So in high school, I was in the bottom 10%. If you're listening to this, you probably were much stronger than I am. Yet each year, my doctor would conduct echocardiogram workups to map out the condition of my heart, the blood flow, and valve leakage. Finally, about 3.5 years later, I discovered a key enzyme that regenerates heart muscle tissue by targeting defective and scarred tissue for the immune system to remove it. It basically activates the NK natural killer cells that target the defective cells in the heart, and then the T cells replace them. Combined with a natural plant sterol in the enzymes, my heart regenerated in 12 weeks, and when I went in for my annual echocardiogram workup, the following week I mentioned to my doctor that I felt pretty much back to normal. This is crazy talk for someone who was discharged with class 4 heart failure because it is a terminal disease. My doctor just smiled. He said, "Let's look at the test reports." I watched him as he looked at the screen. His eyes got bigger and bigger, and he says, "What are you taking?" I said, "Well, I haven't changed the enzymes, but I have added one thing." He says, "Your heart has shrunk in half back to normal. Your valves have all sealed. Everything's normal, perfect, normal, perfect, perfect, normal, perfect." He went down the entire list. He says, "Your ejection fraction's all the way up to normal. Your blood flow is normal." He says, "Essentially, you're completely cured." He said, "Would you write that down for me? I need to take that." So I wrote out a prescription, what to take, how much, where to buy it, for my doctor. It may seem comical, yet year by year I get stronger and stronger, even though I was normal in 2009. So this book covers every part of that. How you can apply it, what to apply, how much to take, and when. Pace yourself, engage in every bit of the exercise in the cardiac rehab section that you can. And remember, this is not just my story. Others have applied this treatment plan and have been successful. It's up to you to take action. Only you can take action. This book is available at Amazon, both in print and Kindle editions, at the Apple iTunes iBook store, as well as on eBay in a print edition. And if you wish, you can order directly from the publisher, Wilkerson and Hughes, P.O. Box 777, Altoona, Florida, 32702. Just enclose a check for $24, and that will cover the book and postage. Again, thank you for listening. My name is J. Randall Wilkerson, author of the Heart Failure Recovery Plan, Successful Heart Regeneration Using Metabolic Enzymes.